Right, well, on the line, we have a regular caller to the show. It's John from Basingstoke. Are you there, John?
I am indeed here, Mark. Good to speak to you. John Ashe with an E from Basingstoke. Tickling the speaker on the telephone.
Tickling the speaker, okay. That's a new one. So what are you up to today?
Well, it's not new to me, no. It's an expression that my uncle used to use when he was talking about speaking into a telephone. He'd talk about tickling the receiver.
Okay. In the sense of, what, like tickling the ivories on the piano?
That's right.
Okay. Was he a pianist?
He was.
Okay, so that's an apposite metaphor then.
It was for him, but I like to keep us alive.
Yeah. So what have you been up to today then, John?
I've been to the supermarket to buy some victuals.
Some what, sorry?
And to buy some victuals.
Oh, yes.
Vitals, you know.
It's spelt funny, isn't it? Is it spelt victuals, isn't it, I believe? It's one of those funny spellings.
Yes, that's right. But it wasn't a trouble-free experience.
Oh.
But I have had worse experiences in my life.
Right. What was the problem today, John?
Well, the problem was my elderly mother.
Right. Okay.
That's right, yes.
What?
Yes, well, she won't answer the phone. So she was out there sitting in the car, and I thought there's a chance she's going to go off. She'd done her shopping.
Right.
And we hadn't really communicated with each other properly, and I was walking around the supermarket putting things in my basket, and it got to a point where I thought, she's going to go without me. So I rang her up, because she doesn't answer. Well, she does answer. What she does is she swipes. She's got a smartphone. She hasn't got a clue how to use it. So she swipes the screen,
right,
and then doesn't answer. She looks at it and thinks, well, what's this in front of my face? And I'm going, hello? Hello, there's no answer. And then, of course, it goes ding, and then it's all off, isn't it? And then I can't ring because she hasn't actually closed the call.
Okay.
And then she calls me.
Yep.
And 3 rings. By the time I get the phone out of my little bag, she's not there. It's a disaster. So then I have to go and take the basket of things to the checkout and say, I've got to rush out into the car park before my elderly mother disappears.
Wait a minute.
I can't stop to pay. Can you look after these things? Then I'll come back in and pay. And then so this person then says, oh, let me speak to the manager. Can you believe it? Just to look after a basket full of things. And then the manager says, oh, you'll have to pay, and then put the basket in one of those little cubby holes over there. You put a pound in and take the key away. I said, I can't be bothered with that.
No.
I said, I'll take the risk. I haven't bought anything yet, so I put the basket on top of a load of 6-packs. They have these stalls, don't they, with 6-packs piled up. Yep. So I put it on top of there and rushed out, and unfortunately I caught her. I had to go back in, and I picked up I was going to pick up my basket, and it's gone.
Oh, no, John.
About 2 minutes, it had gone. So I went over to the cashier, and the cashier said, oh yes, we've put it safely with customer service. I thought, well, this is great for customer service, isn't it? So I said, what am I going to do? Am I going to go pick it up from there, walk back in, and then pay? Yes, they said.
Oh, dear, John.
I know, it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So this is what you get when you have a 97-year-old mother in the supermarket.
Well, it's a bit of a job's worth, isn't it? Attitude to your supermarket. This isn't Basingstoke, is it? Don't mention the name, John. But are they a bit job's worth then?
I've not noticed that particularly before, but today I didn't notice. I wasn't aware that I'd seen those particular starts before. So maybe that's the answer. Yeah. Well,
I hope you did you give them a piece of your mind, or were you very polite?
What, my mother, you mean?
No, the manager in the shop. Were you polite, John? Hopefully you were.
Well, I'd calmed down, I suppose, when what actually happened, to get the detail right, is that I didn't take the basket then from customer services back in, because I asked, can I not pay here? And the lady said, yes, you can. So I began to calm down at that point. Although, she did say, unfortunately, you can't buy these bananas because I can't weigh them. You'd have to buy those separately. So I said, well, I can't be bothered with this. It's just a bunch of bananas. So I said, I'll forego the bananas.
So your banana...
I stood there with a pile of cash in my hand, and she said, are you paying with cash or card? And I was about to say, how many brain cells do you have? Well, I didn't.
No,
I didn't.
Good.
I said, oh, cash, please.
So you're bananaless.
I am bananaless, yes, indeed, in both senses. Well, all senses of that word.
Oh well. So you and your elderly mother share the same car. Then is that why you were worried about her sort of driving off without you?
Well, at that moment we were sharing the same car. It's because my car is in the garage at the moment for some remedial work.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
This is this car. I think we've talked about this on air before, haven't we, John? This car of yours. Is this the one with the back door that you can't open?
That's correct. Yes, and it also has a little bit of Cornish pasty damage in the back.
Right. Oh yes. I remember that you transport
dripping meat product. Well, my wife has, I suppose I have to admit, rightly complained about this, but yes, there is a fair amount of rust developing in the back where these meat products have drip. Yeah.
Oh, right. So, is this what the garage are trying to fix then? The rust caused by the juice from the Cornish pasties?
That's correct. Yes. You have springs at the back for suspension.
Yeah.
Well, on the front, but I mean the ones that are affected are at the back.
Yeah.
And it's rust essentially.
Okay.
And when I took it in just for a normal service, well, a half service, I don't want to pay for the full service. Too old a car for that. So, filters have been changed, that sort of thing. And of course, while they were doing this, they looked and they said, "And do you realise you have a dangerous amount of rust in unusual places?" They said, including these springs. So I didn't want it done immediately, so I had to take it back in for that. And they were wondering why this had happened. They could see there were some strange channels of liquid from the back that seemed to have no source, no cause.
Right.
So I had to invent a story because I don't really want to admit that it's Cornish pasties dripping.
What
sausages.
What story did you invent then, John?
Oh, well, I said that I go swimming and I put rather too wet towel on the back sometimes. I'm not sure they believe me, but what else could I say? I mean, but then again, would they believe me if I said that meat products up and down the motorway every week, every day? Every day, ridiculous.
No, that would be crazy. All right, well, look, John, that's well, at least you've come back with your shopping minus bananas. So
yes, but I did get the pork pies. I mean, this is one of the things I wanted to do because you know how supermarkets sell things off at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, at this particular supermarket, if you're lucky, they leave things till the following morning. If you go in, you can get some things that are. It might be. Well, they won't tend to be actually over the date, in the case of pork pies, but it'll be spot on the day. So I get a good lot of those, and if I can shift those pretty quick, this time of the year, not bad actually. It can get very hot, isn't it? In the middle of the summer, I really have to push it.
Yeah.
Down to the locker. But so I'm hoping to go down tomorrow. I might be able to push it one day. So I've got quite a lot of pork pies this morning. Yeah. Okay.
So well, when you go back to the shop, are you going back with your elderly mother, or is that a sort of one-off? Do you just do you think you'll think twice next time, or get her to use the phone properly? Perhaps explain to her how the phone works.
No, that is extremely a one-off.
Right.
Absolutely a one-off. I'm not doing that again.
Okay.
It was far too stressful.
Right. Okay. Well, sorry to hear you've had a stressful morning, I guess, John. When are you going to get your bananas next? I think that's what the listeners are worried about.
Well, I think what I'll do is I'll go for Wednesday, go back to the same place, because I know they produce a lot of pork and pepper sausages on the Tuesday, and they do tend not to sell out with those. So I'm expecting on the Wednesday morning there might be several packs. I'll go for those because the guy down at the locker, he's very keen on selling those on.
Right. Okay. So, John, do you have a song for us to play?
No, I don't actually.
How about Yes, We Have No Bananas? Because that's very suitable, I would have thought.
Yes, that will be great. Actually, I do remember listening to that as a young man. And in fact, probably danced to it once or twice.
Okay.
You know, one of these parties where they play the funny songs?
Yeah.
I think they played the Birdie song, but I've had that before. I'm sure I've requested
Yes,
that in the past.
Yeah, we've had that.
Yes, We Have No Bananas would be great. It would bring back memories. Probably before I was actually trained to be a quantity there, which I have told you, haven't I, Mark, that I used to be one of those.
Yes, I think you have mentioned it a couple of times, yeah.
Yes. So I was still, quite scientific as a young man, studying, chemistry and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So during those times when students would have a bit of a knees up, and yes, I remember dancing to this particular one as a young man. So it will bring back nice memories with Maud and Molly. Oh,
okay. I was going to ask you if you had a shout out. So should we play it to both Maud and Molly then?
Yes, Maud and Molly.
Okay.
Actually, no. Can we just make it Maud?
Just Maud? Okay. Any reason, John?
Yeah. Well, yes, there is, because I'm thinking that Molly was never very keen on bananas. Or was it? Actually, I'm not sure which one of it was. So perhaps it's not better not have a call out, a shout out for either.
Do either of them listen to the show, John? I meant to ask.
No, that's true, they don't. So no, don't leave it as it is. That's fine. No shout out to both of them, please.
Okay, all right, we'll do that for you. Yes, well, lovely to talk to you, John, and speak to you next week.
Yes, aren't you going to ask me to choose a song, Mark?
Didn't I just do that?
Oh yeah, you did. Feeling a bit confused this morning. Yeah, great show.
Nope.
I'm looking forward to next time I speak to you. Great show. Always enjoy it. Bye, Mark.
Cheerio, John. Speak to you soon. Bye.